First on CBS News, several companies with ties to President Trump are distancing themselves from a controversial tax agreement he supports. Now, under that agreement, the IRS and the Treasury Department are permanently barred from pursuing prior tax claims against the president and his two oldest sons and the Trump administration. Now, top Democrats are demanding answers. They want to know if the deal applies to businesses co-founded or affiliated with the Trump family. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, they are leading the probe, and it comes as Schumer continues to take shots at the president and his family's business dealings.
Trump's corruption isn't a victimless crime. As Trump swims in the billions of dollars his family has made off the presidency, Americans are drowning in at least $3,100 in higher costs from the very same policies that are enriching Trump. We see a new grift every day, but the scheme is always the same. Trump profits, Americans pay.
Now, CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen is one of the reporters to first get that scoop, and he joins us right now. Hey, Jake, so can you walk us through the scope of this agreement and some of the companies in question here?
Well, that's right, Mugo. The scope is vague, and that's why Senator Elizabeth Warren and Democrats are pushing for answers. Now, because they're in the minority in the Senate, they don't have subpoena power, but earlier this month, they pressed 11 companies ranging from defense companies, an airline that was founded in part by the older Trump sons, I should say, in addition to cryptocurrency firms with the family's backing, Trump Media, which runs Truth Social, where President Trump often writes his social media messages, and where a number of conservative influencers also kind of spend time posting about what's going on in the White House, in addition to Kalshi and Polymarket, who have Trump family members as advisors, pushing all of these companies on whether they could be included. That graphic you just put up, Mugo, has one clause, I just want to read it, that potentially the settlement applies to parties including trusts, parent, sister, or related companies that are a part of the Trump family, who sued back earlier this year the IRS and the Treasury Department as part of a lawsuit over a breach of tax return privacy that the family won in the settlement with his own government. As a result of this, really, there is really an unknown answer of how many companies affiliated with the Trump family are potentially out there that could reap rewards from not being audited for past returns, or potentially, as some senators have alluded to in the last couple of days, have future immunity. 5 companies that this office and this investigation, I should say, got answers from, said that they have nothing to do with this and that the settlement does not apply to them. 6 companies have not answered, including the Trump Organization, which is one of the plaintiffs. And we'll see kind of what the further end result is here. But this has been one of the crucial things, and that's really pinned up Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's nomination in the Senate for confirmation.
Yeah, so Jake, we know the Democrats are clearly against this agreement, but there are also some Republicans at odds with it. How is this all playing out on Capitol Hill?
That's right. We heard Senator John Cornyn say yesterday that this carve-out, not the anti-weaponization fund necessarily, because Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has essentially said it's dead and that it will not come back to help President Trump's allies get money from the Justice Department. But it's this one half-page addendum to that settlement that would eventually provide this kind of tax immunity is unacceptable to him. And that's what he wants changed. We've heard Tom Tillis, senator from North Carolina, also pushing back on this clause. That is kind of the building block of what is at the center of this holdup here to get Blanche confirmed permanently. And I should note, Mugo, just moments ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social saying he would even be willing to withdraw Blanche's nomination, leave him in his acting post, and then wait for Cornyn and Tillis to leave office next year before re-nominating him for the position, potentially keeping Blanche essentially indefinitely in this acting position as he's trying to sort out this political firewall that seems to be at least slowing down this nomination for now.
And Jake, what about the agreement itself? Is it official? I mean, does Schumer and Warren looking into this change anything when it all comes down to it?
There's been some momentum among different committees run by Democrats in the Senate to potentially force some kind of vote. However, we should just set out that Republicans control the Senate. They don't need to listen to Democrats on this issue. But what they want is this addendum to be changed to either narrow these provisions or to strip it out completely. However, just given Todd Blanche's past work for President Trump in his criminal defenses, as well as just what the stakes are to have another handpicked attorney general by President Trump to do his bidding at the Justice Department, the pressure pressure now is on the White House to sort out this problem and to get Blanche either above these senators and get the appeasement that they want from these senators so that they're willing to vote for him, or to potentially sort out another issue that President Trump just suggested, which is if these two men are going to hold up this nomination, they won't get him through committee for a full vote, then I'm willing to simply just pull back this nomination and we'll sort it out another time. Certainly could set up more fireworks, as we've seen kind of the back and forth between the DOJ and the senators holding up this nomination for the last day or two.
We'll see what happens there. Jake Rosen, thank you so much for your reporting.